vola anguela o veteronugu, ako itabua. Ako do talitaina na barongo na Bula FM, nambandu na sere.
Bula, alang gonoa, ilutoka do talita ka ng Bula FM berarti ni nambandu na sere.
Ni Bula binaka, nanregen go sa Bula FM nga. Na kasi.
Nalang go sa mundo atibio ng Bula FM nambandu na sere nusuri.
Ni Bula binaka, nalang go Jerry, yang melambasa. Do barongo na Bula FM, nambandu.
Bula FM, nambandu na sere.
In the news tonight, AG rubbishes selective treatment claims. Baggage theft concerns Fiji Airways. And 8 face court on fraud charges.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Economy Minister Ayasai Kayum has hit out at National Federation Party leader Professor Biman Prasad, who made claims in Parliament today that taxpayers are receiving selective treatment at the Fiji Revenue and Customs Service. Syed Kayum stressed the FRCS is an independent body by law and asked Professor Prasad to support his claims. Kelly Vadala reports.
Debating on the Fiji Revenue and Customs Service 2016-2017 annual report, opposition parliamentarian Biman Prasad claimed the organization is being influenced.
We have been told, and I've been shown some evidence, that there is selective treatment of certain taxpayers by FRCS. And there is allegation that they get instruction from the top. I don't know what the top is, where the top is.
Economy Minister Ayasai Kayum then asked Professor Prasad to show evidence.
You know, Honorable Prasad comes and says, I've heard this, somebody told me this about individual taxpayers. I love him to tell us which staff member told that, because he is actually complicit in actually breaching the confidentiality provisions within FRCS Act.
Syed Kayum even directed Prasad to where he can lodge a report regarding the alleged matter.
Honorable Prasad believes that there is untoward behavior going on in FRCS. If he has the evidence, as he says, I urge him, please go to FICAC today and report it. Please do it. Please do it. Don't come here and get into these shenanigans and making all sorts of allegations.
The minister says government believes there's a lot of capacity that needs to be built within FRCS as businesses nowadays are getting more sophisticated. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The search and recovery operation for the helicopter that crashed on the weekend and its 2 remaining occupants continued in its 3rd day. The helicopter, a 4-seater white R-44 aircraft, was on a medical evacuation from Naitaumba Island in northern Laos and heading to the Lambasa hospital when it went off the radar on Friday night. It was transporting a 2-year-old child who was accompanied by the mother. The mother's body was recovered on Saturday. A forensics team from Suva has joined the operation team to reinforce manpower, skills and knowledge in the search and recovery. They are working closely with personnel from the Rescue Coordination Centre in Suva who are conducting aerial search. Independent investigator Andrew McGregor from New Zealand is also with the team. Commander Fiji Navy Captain Humphrey Tawake says the search continues in Atewa Bay Vanua level.
Nothing has changed. Search and recovery operations continue as we speak in the area affected.
Meanwhile, FBC News believes the missing pilot is Gilbert Parker, owner and operator of Savu Savu Helicopters. Parker was based out of Savasi Island Resort, where he was given space to land his helicopter. FBC News reached out to Parker's family in Savu Savu. However, relatives opted not to comment, saying the search is ongoing. Fiji Airways has expressed interest in taking over baggage handling and catering for its flights. Civil Aviation Minister Ayasai Kayum revealed in Parliament today that the airline has had incidents of theft from passengers' luggages. All ground handling at the Nandi International Airport and at Nausori International Airport is handled by Air Terminal Services.
At the moment, Fiji Airways is actually thinking about putting cameras in the luggage hall of those planes. Because when these people go in, they actually take things out. On numerous occasions we get people's stuff being taken out of these bags. People sit in the planes, bags are going in, bags are coming out, things are being taken out. And Mr. Speaker, sir, organizations like the ATS needs to understand that in the modern day of running airports and airline services, we need to have a lot of professionalism.
He has not provided any figures, and he's just generalizing that all of them are stealing and implying from that Fiji Airways will be taking ground handling services, which is totally unfair on the workers.
The delivery of 2 new A350 planes for Fiji Airways is on track. Civil Aviation Minister Aya Said Qayyum says the new aircrafts will enable the national carrier to reach newer destinations. Edwin Nunn reports.
The first A350 arrives in November, with the second being delivered a month later.
We could actually go beyond LA. There's talk about even going to as far as Chicago. Chicago, obviously, Mr. Speaker, says is a good destination because it's closer to the eastern seaboard of USA, also closer to the northern seaboard of Canada, and of course going in the western direction, we could go even as far as Chennai.
Syed Qayyum adds the decision to buy the A350s wasn't made lightly because the market is highly competitive and manufacturers want to do business with Fiji Airways.
We picked these planes because Singapore Airlines refused to take them, which means there was no planning on the part of Fiji Airways, that something came up and they thought it was a good idea to buy it.
In fact, I recently flew in an A350 in Singapore Airlines. And Mr. Speaker, so if Singapore Airlines rejected A350, why would they have simulators based in Singapore with an A350 simulator? It's incorrect to say that they rejected A350, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Pilots, cabin crew, engineers, technicians, safety officers and other staff are currently being trained in Singapore and other parts of the world to be ready to fly the new aircraft.
There is no mad rush. They have been actually working on this particular project, looking at the Dreamliners, looking at the A350s for the past 2 years. I would not call it a rush.
A review of the current A330 flight is also being done with an eye on the A330neo version. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
8 people who allegedly defrauded the Fiji National Provident Fund earlier this year have been remanded in custody by the Suva Magistrates Court. The 8 are charged with 17 counts of forgery, obtaining financial advantage and using a forged document. Pranita Prakash was in court and filed this report.
It is alleged the 8 forged several legal documents to obtain $49,300 from the FNPF in April this year. It is alleged Jack Hiramatsu, a former employee of the FNPF legal department, used a forged certificate of title document provided by ILTB staff member Rufina Garanivalu and colluded with travel agent Tanila Samutitonga to write a false title under his name. The other 5 accused, Milio Rayawa, Merionin Rawe, Vereti Sawanga, Salote Darangeti and Temo Tuilalai allegedly posed as prospective buyers of the land and face numerous charges. It is alleged the group used the forged documents to withdraw money from the FNPF under the Urban Housing Assistance Scheme with the intention of inducing Fiji National Provident Fund officials to accept it as genuine. They then allegedly obtained $49,300 which they shared. The magistrate recused herself from the matter, stating that she knew the second accused. The matter has been adjourned to next Wednesday to be called before the chief magistrate. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Up ahead, plain tobacco packaging likely in the future. And government appoints special administrator teams. Details after the break.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, my name is Sotiama here in Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, I'm Miri. I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Rakiraki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Police visibility is being strengthened to deal with the increase in the number of robbery and theft cases along the Suva-Nasinu corridor. Minister for Defence Inia Seruratu says various measures are being undertaken to curb the issue. Seruratu says the Suva-Nasinu corridor is one of the populated areas.
Presence alone makes a lot of difference, and of course, hopefully it will bring the necessary effects as well to those that are into such activities.
Seruratu adds that the installation of cameras in the capital city has also proven to be successful, as it has led to the arrest of people involved in crimes. A comprehensive consultation to review the tobacco control regulation is underway. Health Minister Dr. Efuremi Wangai-Nambete highlighted there is a need to introduce plain and unbranded packaging of tobacco products. Sanyani Mboila reports.
There is no time frame on when the review of the tobacco control regulation will be completed.
This is a very comprehensive review, and the process has undergone its own evolution. And we cannot put a timeline to it because, as you rightfully said, the Honourable Member has rightfully said, there are stakeholders that needs to be consulted.
Opposition member Aseri Rondonro questioned if companies will be compensated for this change.
This process of plain packaging involves a lot of stakeholders, especially the tobacco companies and people that use the products. If we get the indication from the Minister in terms of the consultation that they've been doing, where the government will compensate tobacco companies for this introduction of plain packaging.
And I say this, Honourable Speaker, because there was already discussion in layman's terms out there in the community where people would say, I like the lung cancer one better than the heart attack one. So we needed to do consultation to be really sure how best we wanted the plain packaging to be reviewed.
The Australian government was the first in the world to legislate plain packaging of tobacco packets in 2012, followed by France and the UK in 2017, and New Zealand also followed suit. The review of the regulation in Fiji started in 2016. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
People-to-people ties are the foundation of wonderful relations between the Pacific region and Japan. The visiting Japanese Foreign Affairs Minister Taro Kono highlighted on the partnership while launching the GenC's 2019 program at the University of the South Pacific this morning. Priya Nand reports.
The Japanese government has provided major funding to help the Pacific's human resource sector to grow.
Over the past 32 years, through programs run by the Japan International Cooperation Agency, or JICA, more than 10,000 Pacific Islanders have visited Japan for various training programs, and over 3,700 experts have been dispatched to Pacific Island countries.
Japanese Foreign Minister Kono says they are physically present in the Pacific region.
The development of our friendship has also been demonstrated by the increase in number of Japanese embassies in the region. While there were only 2 embassies back in 1987, we now have a total of 8, and the next year we look forward to opening our 9th embassy in Vanuatu.
Kono is the first Japanese foreign minister to visit the region in 32 years. Rianand, FBC News.
Meanwhile, Taro Kono also met with Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama and Attorney General Aya Said Kayum today. During the meeting, Bainimarama acknowledged the support by the Japanese government in Fiji's development agenda, especially on projects like the Nandi River diversion, Tamavoiwai Bridge, and rehabilitation of schools post-T.C. Winston. Kono is on a short visit to Fiji. Yesterday, he met Foreign Affairs Minister Nia Seruratu, where it was announced that Fiji will be hosting the Pacific Island Leaders Meeting next year. The government is looking at modernising laws governing the Fiji Public Trustees Corporation Limited. Attorney General Aya Said Kayum told Parliament today that a number of laws are outdated and don't serve the needs of the people. Said Kayum adds the corporation currently can't step in where there are family disputes over property shares.
There are many estates in Fiji where, because of the family members not being able to reach any particular consensus as to what to deal with the property, has been left in a dilapidated state. It causes problems for the municipal councils. They don't pay the rates. So it causes, an eyesore overall. So, Mr. Speaker, so there's obviously a number of contributing factors, and we absolutely agree, as we have highlighted previously, that we do need to look at these laws. Many of these laws are very archaic, and we hope to deal with it. We need to get a number of examples from overseas.
The government has appointed 7 teams of special administrators to oversee the governance and operations for the 13 municipal councils. The special administrators appointed will be council members of respective municipal councils and will be regarded as the duly constituted council. The new special administrator teams, led by a chair, will be tasked with modernising practices and streamlining processes to ensure cities and towns provide services to ratepayers and citizens in the most efficient, transparent and cost-effective way. Local Government Minister Pramila Kumar thanked the current special administrators for their management during the first stage of the critical and ongoing reform process. She emphasised the important role of special administrators in progressing the pillars of good governance and customer service, revenue management and cost control, project management and staff development. And it's business time now with Kelly.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up, FCCC steps up surveillance in rural areas. And in growing Fiji, villagers welcome new food crossing. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है because it's hot.
Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's number 1.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग खाली मिर्ची एफएम सुनता. गोल टाउन तावा में मिर्ची एफएम दागो मामा.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Leading business tonight, the Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission has been receiving a lot of complaints from rural consumers and traders. To address this, the FCCC has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Turkey Affairs Board. Kritika Kumar reports.
Under the signed understanding, surveillance officers will be appointed at village level, who will be the eyes and ears of FCCC.
We will be actually engaging with the village headmen and Turangani Koro to carry out market surveillance for us. So in terms of investigations or in terms of monitoring and compliance in the village level, at the village level, this will actually enable our presence in villages.
Senika Vikachiuta highlighted some of the common complaints made by people in rural areas.
They feel like they've been unfairly treated by some of these traders. The prices, okay, apart from overcharging, the price control items the prices are not being displayed correctly, and even the items that are being sold. So it doesn't have full and proper information.
FCCC Commissioner Vimlesh Sagar says the MOU is a win-win for both shoppers and traders in the rural areas.
The most important part of this MOU is that the FCCC will provide training to the people and the officers involved on the ground, on the field, and that will enable us to keep the Fijians informed.
The surveillance officers in rural areas will carry out investigations and submit reports on a monthly and quarterly basis. This will enable FCCC to take measures against those at fault. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Economy Minister Ayez Said Qayyum highlighted Fiji's latest liquidity status in Parliament today. This comes after opposition members claimed that the government has no money and the economy is in a financial crisis. While debating on the Fiji Revenue and Customs Service 2016-2017 annual report, Said Qayyum spoke on the recent figures released by the Reserve Bank.
The liquidity in Fiji as of last week Friday stands at $551 million. Mr. Speaker, sir, and the foreign reserves, Mr. Speaker, sir, the foreign reserves, Mr. Speaker, sir, as of last week Friday stands at $2.1 billion. And Mr. Speaker, sir, and Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. Speaker, and Mr. Speaker, sir, the inflation rate as of last Friday was 0.7%.
Sinifa from HFC Bank is here with the latest from the money market.
Let's have a quick look at our last week's trading on our local stock market. The SPSE saw 72,252 shares change hands in 39 transactions valued at $246,019. 11 listed entities recorded market activity. Freebird Institute Limited shares ended the week at $2.60, noting a 10-cent decrease. Fiji Care Insurance shares increased by 10 cents and closed at $2.30. FMF Foods showed an upward movement of 2 cents and closed the week at $2.17. Paradise Beverages shares were up 2 cents at $14.05. Toyota Susho shares rose by 50 cents, closing at $12. Vision Investments increased 3 cents to $4.54. Fijian Holdings fell 10 cents, closing at $1.80. And BSP Convertible Notes Limited shares increased by 50 cents, ending the week at $23. Following these share price movements, the overall market capitalization decreased by 0.41% and ended the week at $3.64 billion. That's a wrap from our local stock market, Vinaka.
Vinaka Sinifa, here are today's exchange rates as set this morning. The markets remain volatile and uncertain in light of the US-China trade dispute and the coming exit of the UK from the European Union. The Fiji dollar rose against the Chinese yuan and the New Zealand dollar, but slid against the other currencies we cover. Commodity prices were up. Crude oil rose more than $1 to over $55 a barrel. Gold was up about $18 at $1,450 per ounce, and silver closed at $16.31 per ounce. In growing Fiji, community members of Nairokorokoyawa and Coralville Village have applauded government's efforts with the commissioning of 2 foot crossing bridges in the interior of Neitasiri. The project was initiated as part of the rehabilitation that was to be carried out after the devastation of Tropical Cyclone Winston in the Upper Neitasiri areas. Minister for Rural and Maritime Development Dr. Mahendra Reddy says the 2 crossings will assist school children, elderly and people with disabilities to move freely.
We want everyone to be part of our growth and development strategy. If we don't do that, then we'll see that future Fiji will suffer because our children will not be educated, will not be well developed.
That's it from Business Tonight. Sports is up next with Jamie.
Thanks, Kelly, and good evening in Sports Tonight. Lessons learned for QVS under 15 in semi-final, and flying Fijians out of contention for Pacific Nations Cup title. This and more after the break.
Natango merea maramani waya manatuya sawa aweti gitu tunde nandi ya undo marata kana baronga na Radio Fiji 1.
Yawa asna vatili yawa maga Monica. Tondo baronga vale bunar domai biti lambasa.
Bula natango aprosa ngarse ngor kraki do televe na baronga na Radio Fiji 1 na domai biti. Natango tsani bukia ngoni na mosi ando taleta kana baronga na Radio Fiji 1 na domai biti su.
Radio Fiji 1 na domai biti.
Queen Victoria School's under-15 team were taken by surprise in their semi-final match against the rejuvenated Maris team. QVS were held to a 10-all draw but advanced to the finals, having scored more tries in their match. Faria Begum has more.
Lessons learned from the match against Maris Brothers High, and it's time to move to the next hurdle, says QVS coach Samuela Yalayala.
It's good to have weaknesses so that we can learn from. Maris was a very good team. Mary was a very strong team, and the way they play, they have improved a lot from the last time we have met in a friendly match back in school.
QVS will take on Ratu Kandavu Levu School in the 2019 Vodafone Deans under-15 final this weekend at Lawanga Park in Singatoka. Meanwhile, Suva Grammar School team manager Malakai Toeli says some areas in the team needs fine-tuning.
We will be going into the final as underdogs, but we'll definitely work on our weaker areas and try and improve on our weak areas so that we come finals, we put up a fight during finals day.
Suva Grammar takes on RKS in the under-14 final this weekend. All 2019 Vodafone Deans finals will be played at Lawanga Park in Singatoka this Saturday. Faria Begum, FBC Sports.
The Ratukandavulevu School Under-16 team was taken to the wire by a spirited Ba Provincial Freebird Institute in their semi-final at Lawanga Park on Saturday. RKS Under-16 team manager Timothy Satakala says the 10-7 win exposed a few obvious areas that needs improving this week. However, he was grateful Ba Provincial put his team through a tough match ahead of the finals.
A little bit relief now, and we are left with one. It's a game we thank Bapro for testing our boys, and we were a little bit rusty, but we're hoping to come back next week stronger and better.
The Fiji Airways Flying Fijians are set to finish the 2019 World Rugby Pacific Nations Cup empty-handed for the first time since 2014. All teams have one remaining game. However, even if Fiji defeats Samoa, they will still not be in contention for the title. Coach John McKee says while it is unfortunate, they are working towards a bigger goal for 2019.
We didn't get away to a good start in Japan and sort of put us behind the 8 ball a bit. So for 2019, our focus is on Rugby World Cup, and that's disappointing that we're not in contention in the last round of the PNC. But the Rugby World Cup is the most important thing for us this year, and we're still working very, very hard towards that.
Flying Fijians captain Leone Nakarawa is happy with the win over Canada in the 2019 World Rugby Pacific Nations Cup last Saturday. However, he believes they have a bit of work to do before their next match. Faria Begum with the details.
Nakarawa says there's a need to improve communication within the team.
So I think there's one thing is our communication and the learning of basics right and our individual roles. So like John said, we have more time to improve on coming up next weekend.
Coach John McKee had similar sentiments, adding that Fiji left some openings and Canada took advantage of them.
They gave them a lot of chance at the driving ball because we gave away a lot of penalties, but our defence against them was pretty strong as well.
Fiji takes on Samoa in their next Pacific Nations Cup match this Saturday at 7:15 p.m. at ANZ Stadium in Suva. Faria Begum, FBC Sports.
Holding Bato 0-0 draw in its final pool match of the 2019 Inc. Mobile Battle of the Giants tournament was an achievement for the Suva team. Suva's match against Lambasa also ended with a 0-0 draw, while they thrashed Tavua 8-1. Coach Kamal Swami says while they missed opportunities that could have given them a win, they're happy to be in the semi-final.
We knew that Ba will be coming attacking, so they will the formation and the players they used up front and the midfield was all attacking players, so we knew we need to defend them in the midfield. We did defend them in the midfield when we had 11 players and we created good chances, but unfortunately we could not finish it. But when we had 10 players, we had to go deep defending, and it worked for us.
Meanwhile, the BOG semi-finals and final will be played at Lautoka's Churchill Park. The first semi-final between Lambasa and Nasinu will be played on Saturday at 6:30 p.m., while the second semi-final between Lautoka and Suva will kick off at 8:30 p.m. The third and fourth place playoff will be played 2 p.m. Sunday, while the final will begin at 4 p.m. That's it from sports tonight. In new media, high-tech contact lenses that can zoom in and out. Find out more after the break.
रहता है हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार, हम रहता है लेबू और रेडियो फीजी में हरदम सुनता है, बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोचक सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको।
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है, हम लोग रेडियो फीजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम, नंबर 1 रेडियो।
कुमार स्वामी नायक है, गोंगवा लेबू लटोका, रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे। कुमार नाकाफी में रहता है, रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2, देश की धड़कन।
And Kritika joins us now with the latest from the weather world.
After a weekend of overcast skies, cool temperatures and light rain, today wasn't much of a change for most of the country. Looking at the west, however, today they had ample sunshine accompanied by cool temperatures. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, overcast skies and very light rain was the order of the day along the eastern shores of Viti Levu. And up north, there were overcast skies and light rain, especially towards the oncoming winds from the east. At sea, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots and rough southeast swells. Looking at the tides, the next high tide is at 10:19 tonight and low tide at 4:29 tomorrow morning. Sunrise is at 6:31. For tomorrow, perhaps some sunshine in the west, but scattered showers are likely, especially for the central and eastern areas. Tomorrow's temperatures, most centers will be fairly cool due to the southeast winds. And further on to Wednesday, expect generally the same conditions, cool with cloudy skies and light showers. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Kritika. In Fijian Pulse segment tonight, we asked, what do you think of Fiji Airways flying Fijians defeating Canada in the Pacific Nations Cup clash?
I like it because it was live. Enjoy the Fiji team. Support the boys for the next game this weekend.
I think Fiji performance is very good. Go Fiji, go.
My opinion is that Fiji did great, but in order to win over Samoa, Samoa is a good team too, so they have to move up their standards of games.
I just want to thank the team for their hard work last week, and if they could build up again their training and work hard against this game.
Fiji is now need some improvement. Samoa is very tough team, so Fiji, all the best for our game.
Recapping the main stories for tonight. AG rubbishes selective treatment claims, baggage theft concerns Fiji Airways, and 8 face court on fraud charges. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question segment, last week we had asked, should police patrols at night be increased? 80% said yes. This week we're asking, should Fiji introduce unbranded packaging for tobacco? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day. The sound of waves crashing on the shore is one of the most relaxing sounds on earth, taken by Nitesh Ranika. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj. Share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. Follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
We love Today FM. Today FM rocks. Bula Minaka, I'm Linda Form. I studied at Suva. I love listening to Today FM because they play latest music and they rock.
Hi, my name is Asnate. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm Makereta from Nandi. We love listening to Today FM. Here in Nandi, it rocks.
Hi, I'm Shania. I'm from Lotoka and I love Today FM and it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.